Mauricio Pochettino's story began in the small town of Murphy in rural Argentina. His life changed at the age of 13 when he received an unexpected visit from two men representing Rosario-based club Newell's Old Boys, Jorge Grifa and Marcelo Bielsa. Grifa was a former player and iconic youth coach, famously the first to give an opportunity to big names such as Jorge Valdano, Gabriel Batistuta and Carlos Tevez. Bielsa would go on to become one of the most influential managers in world football, but back then he was just a youth coach at Newell's. The pair were driving all over Argentina with the mission of recruiting youth talent for Newell's academy, and Pochettino was one of the players on their list. By the time they got to Pochettino's hometown of Murphy, it was already 1 a.m. They knocked on the door anyway and surprised Pochettino's parents by offering their son trial at Newell's. Pochettino moved to Rosario and came through the youth ranks at Newell's. Promising centre-back, made his first team debut aged 17 in 1989. Bielsa was then promoted to the first team. Pochettino, playing alongside many of his former academy teammates, was a key member of a successful Newell's side that won the Argentinian Championship twice and reached the Copa Libertadores final. That dreamlike start to his career, which also included being teammates and roommates with football legend Diego Maradona, was followed by a move to Europe. 22-year-old Pochettino arrived in Barcelona in 1994 to sign for Espanyol. In 1999, he made his senior debut for Argentina under his former manager Bielsa. After 6 seasons at Espanyol, Pochettino signed for Paris Saint-Germain in January 2001. He next had another spell in France, playing the 2003-04 season for Bordeaux, before returning to Espanyol, where he would stay for the remainder of his career. Pochettino hung up his boots in 2006, aged 34. Over his 2 spells at Espanyol, the Argentinian defender played 275 games, becoming the player with the 3rd most appearances for the club and also won 2 Copa del Rey titles. Soon after retiring, Pochettino began preparing for his future as a coach. His first role was in 2008 as an assistant to Espanyol's women's team. 1 year later, the men's team were going through a difficult time. They had already gone through 2 coaches in 2008-09 when, in January, Pochettino was appointed until the end of the season. When he took over, Espanyol were fighting to avoid relegation. Results improved under Pochettino though, who was managing many of his former teammates, and they eventually finished in mid-table. For the following 3 seasons, they again managed to comfortably avoid relegation. At the start of the 2012-13 campaign, however, the team went through a bad run and Pochettino was dismissed in November. Pochettino's great work at Espanyol hadn't gone unnoticed though. Only a couple months after his exit from the Liga club, he was appointed as Southampton's new manager in January 2013. Pochettino managed to keep his newly promoted side in the Premier League, and in his first full season, he achieved a remarkable 8th placed finish. That attracted interest from one of the big 6 clubs, Tottenham Hotspur. Pochettino resigned as Southampton manager in May 2014 and arrived in London to take over Spurs. During the following 5 years, the Argentinian manager took the club to new heights. Just as he had done at his previous clubs, Pochettino showed trust in youth players as promising young talents like Harry Kane, Eric Dyer and Dele Alli flourished under his management. In terms of results, Spurs achieved the highest league finish in 54 years and reached their first ever Champions League final. His era at the North London club came to an end in November 2019 when he was sacked after a poor start to the season. Pochettino's return to management took place in a familiar city. In January 2021, he signed for Paris Saint-Germain, the same club he joined as a player exactly 20 years earlier. They finished in 2nd place that season, but managed to reclaim the Ligue 1 title the following year in Pochettino's first full campaign in charge, which also turned out to be his last, as he reached an agreement with the club to terminate his contract in July 2022. At PSG, Pochettino managed huge stars such as Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappé and Neymar, and won the first 3 trophies in his coaching career: a league, a cup and a Super Cup. His next spell would be his shortest. Pochettino returned to London in May 2023, this time to manage Chelsea. He joined the Blues on a 2-year contract but left by mutual consent in May 2024. During his only season at the club, the team finished 6th in the Premier League. In September 2024, Pochettino started a new chapter as head coach of the US men's national team. In his first experience managing at international level, he faces the challenge of achieving a good result at the 2026 World Cup, where the US will be one of the host nations. When taking over the US national team, Pochettino confirmed his plans to employ his usual 4-2-3-1 formation as well as a 4-3-3. He expressed his desires to dominate games through possession and to be closer to the opposition's goal. The Argentinian manager also put great emphasis on another key characteristic of his style, the importance of intense pressing without the ball. With a proven record of creating competitive sides and making the best of youth talent, Pochettino is surely set to leave his mark in the history of the US national team.